What is going on, guys? Welcome to my F1 2015 career mode series where we're driving as Daniel Ricciardo. As you can see, we're in 7th place right now with 12 points of a gap of 38 points to Lewis Hamilton. We're racing in China, going into practice. Let's get into it.
Good morning, and I hope you're as excited as we are for today's practice session here at the Shanghai International Circuit. This 5.45 kilometre track provides both low-speed cornering and a long high-speed straight, a combination that will challenge even the most experienced driver. This is a popular location for many of the teams. The circuit is extremely demanding for both the drivers and the cars, and that makes it a very exciting place to race.
It's certainly a track that's liked by the drivers, providing a good set of challenges when racing. It has two long straights that allow for great overtaking opportunities and a very complex 360-degree right-hand corner combination just after the start-finish line. It's a circuit that really has a bit of everything.
Max Verstappen was a record breaker at the Australian Grand Prix by becoming the youngest ever F1 driver to take to the grid. He beat Jaime Alguersuari's previous record of 19 years and 125 days.
It shows the great potential that they believe Max has to promote him so early. I'm sure he'll be eager to repay their faith out on the track.
Alright, as we go into practice here now, we're currently in 3rd place in the first practice here. Going into the first corner, a swooping right-hander. The aim is to keep your wheel as close to the curb as possible. Unfortunately, in this practice run, I was not able to do that. And as we move on here into the second corner, again, those two corners, you've got to try and keep your tyres as close to the apex as possible, because that allows you to get as much grip as possible to fly off the corner and get the best amount of traction. As we come in here in a 28.4, I believe that was. I'm not sure. I was a bit off the pace of Lewis Hamilton. And now as we come through here, a swooping left hand. The Red Bull feels so good through here. I think it's one of the best cornering cars in F1. Correct me if I'm wrong, but nevertheless. Another swooping right-hander, and then a tight left-hander. This is kind of like the Malaysia track, only it's the other way around, if you know what I mean. Before you go into that tough section before the main straight, and as we're only half a second pretty much behind Lewis Hamilton coming onto the main straight. This in the weekend is going to be where it's going to be really difficult to try and overtake the Mercs, the Williams, the Ferraris. Pretty much everyone, because as you can see from the previous seasons and currently this season and my season in this game and real life, the Red Bull is not the fastest in terms of straight line speed. But as we come through here, that's going to be a pivotal braking point, I believe, because you have to brake. You either brake late, where you have the potential of overshooting, or you brake early, where you can carry a bit more speed into the corner, but it's whether you decide. And it's off to Crofty and Davidson to introduce us to qualifying.
Welcome to qualifying here at the Shanghai International Circuit in China. This 5.45 kilometre track is going to provide us with some thrilling twists and turns within the next hour. One of the big changes on this year's grid is Fernando Alonso, who's left Ferrari and is now back with McLaren.
Many people would never have thought Fernando would go back to McLaren after the volatile year he spent there in 2007. But back he is, and he'll be wanting to make the most of their renewed partnership with Honda.
Right, let's get things moving then. Let's go. Into P9 for lap 2. I had to do quite a lot because I wasn't feeling good in qualifying, and again I just missed the apex. I go horribly wide onto the grass. As you can see, Danny Kvyat just ahead of us in P8. Lewis Hamilton again in pole position, but it's kind of a comprehension thing, because if you hug the apex in the first corner, then it's a kind of a struggle for the second corner. But if you miss completely the first corner, you can completely hug and hit the second apex. But nevertheless, as we come through here, I believe we were about 3 tenths behind Lewis Hamilton. Not that bad considering it's a Merc. As we come through here, another swooping left-hander, swooping right-hander. This was where I planned to overtake as many cars as possible, because the Red Bull, I believe, is one of the fastest in the corners. Obviously behind the Mercedes, so it's kind of second best. I mean, but everyone's second best this season, I believe. I need to find another 2 tenths to be above Danny. I'm a second behind Lewis Hamilton, but I am on prime tyres, don't forget. but that just proves how quickly the Mercedes, and running wide again. How on earth is this a highlight? This is absolutely terrible driving, but as we come through here into the main straight, we've got no one to worry about in terms of overtaking. As we come on to the DRS, one of the longest straights, China is, I believe, one of the longest straights. Coming up, sparks flying up everywhere as we come through here, break it around the 75-meter mark, a tight apex, but again we go, well, not wide, but we do kiss the curb, and another swooping left-hander, a 137, Hamilton in a 139, we come in as a 141.7. That puts us in the 6th place behind Vettel and ahead of Nasser and ahead of Kvyat. Off to you, Crofty.
With the clock ticking down, the drivers have a few minutes before the race event starts. Welcome to the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix. On pole today is Lewis Hamilton. The Mercedes was dominant during qualifying, and with the power unit advantage, well, you just can't see anybody challenging for that race win today.
There's no doubt that he likes this track. I think that was apparent from his wonderful qualifying pace yesterday. He'll be hoping that he can put in another good performance today and that he can convert it into a race win.
Felipe Massa looks to have the edge over Valtteri Bottas this weekend. He'll be hoping to cement that by finishing ahead of his teammate in today's race.
Felipe has been looking quick this weekend, and if he can carry that into today's race, he could be on for a good result. As for Valtteri, he wasn't looking comfortable with his setup yesterday, and we'll hope it works better for him over the long stints today.
Alright, let's see where we can end up. The engineer wants us to finish in 4th. I believe we could do that. We get things moving. Can we attack Vettel? Unfortunately, we can't. Nasser and Bottas overtake us. No, sorry, Bottas overtakes us, so we go into the swooping right-hander here. Swooping right-hander. We overtake Bottas, then we crunch into Vettel. But first of all, let's take a look at the start. Again, as you can see here, Hamilton and Rosberg get a fantastic start. Some moving about from the a few Force Indias there. The Williams doing very well. The Romain Grosjean going around the outside of Kimi Raikkonen, but Kimi Raikkonen managed to hold it around his former teammate, I believe. Yes, he did. Grosjean then cuts around the outside and loses a substantial amount of time, but then we cut into the live feed action as we are just behind Sebastian Vettel now. Going into the long straight, and we cut in the inside of Vettel. Can we? Are we going to cut down the inside? It's going to be tight. The Ferrari isn't the fastest car, but it is much faster than the Red Bull. But Sebastian Vettel, we are actually escaping him. And as we move on here into the second lap, we are moving against Kimi Raikkonen currently. Kimi Raikkonen now, obviously he's not doing well this season. Obviously, Ferrari obviously thinking of moving him. Do you think Kimi should stay? I think Kimi should stay. He brings so much fascinating things to the sport. He has like a I don't care attitude, but Ferrari don't want that, as Raikkonen wonderfully keeps it around the outside. Some good driving from the AI, and as we move on to lap 11, yep, nothing really happened for those number of laps. Into lap 11 now, our first pit stop. What is it going to be from the Red Bull? As I say, I'm not sure if Red Bull is the fastest. One of you guys could please let me know if Red Bull is one of the fastest cars, fastest pit crews in it. It certainly is. 2.3 seconds. That's a wonderful stop. You can't fit quicker than a quick fit fitter. That's what I believe. But a 2.3 second stop, a 20.8 second stop overall. One stop remaining with only a few laps left. We cross the white line, get a warning. Danny Kvyat, our teammate, is behind us. Some poor traction as our tyres are cold. Button and Kvyat fighting for 10th place because the McLaren not doing well this season in this game and in real life. But again, we switched the pit stop and nothing is happening in this race. China, it's not a very interesting race. It's not really interesting most years, if I'm perfectly honest. I can't honestly remember an interesting race in China. I don't really like to watch a Chinese Grand Prix. It's quite boring, you know. It's just, it doesn't really it doesn't excite me as much as other tracks like Spa or Monaco or Canada. But as we get a 2.3 second stop, wonderful again, and a 20 second stop again, kind of average for that. Most stops are 20 seconds in F1, but we're currently trying to chase down Raikkonen. We are on the faster tyres as we start on the slower tyres, and into lap 21 here, Kimi Raikkonen in 6th place. This is where I told you we were going to be quicker than most cars. As we can see, we're bearing down on Kimi Raikkonen round the outside. Can we make a move down the outside? Is it possible to make a move around the outside? We do make it stick. We make a pass round Kimi Raikkonen, but don't forget he will get the DRS as we go into the main straight here. But if we move on to 2 laps later in lap 23, Valtteri Bottas is just ahead of us. Can we get the DRS on him? Most likely, because we are right on him. Can we cut down the inside like we did to Vettel? It looks like we can possibly do it, but don't forget Bottas will have DRS from Roberto Merri in the Manuel Marussia. But Manuel Marussia is going to see 2 cars fly past him. He's usually used to only 1 car flying past him. But Valtteri Bottas, you can see the Mercedes power engine is so much quicker than us. But we decide to brake much later than Valtteri Bottas, and we successfully brake later than Valtteri Bottas. And Felipe Massa is up next. Can we catch the Brazilian before anything happens? We move on to lap 25. Felipe Massa is there, and that means if we overtake him, we will be achieving our engineer's objective as 4th place. Can we make a move down the inside? No, down the outside. As we keep touching Massa, we are putting him under pressure, trying to make him make a mistake in this Chinese Grand Prix. The Brazilian feeling the pressure of the Australian, Daniel Ricciardo and the Red Bull. We touch Massa again. As we can see, Bottas is trying to overtake us as he puts it into mix 3. But Felipe Massa gets a poor exit out of before we go into the straight. And we overtake Massa successfully. But don't forget, he will get much better acceleration because he will have less drag when following us, and he is in a Mercedes powered engine. Look how well he just storms past us there. Can we make a move? We desperately make a move down the inside. Again, late braking. That is what I was doing for the whole of the Grand Prix, and it kept on working. Vettel is up next. I doubt whether we're going to catch him. But as we skip here into lap 27, we're making mistakes here. Valtteri Bottas goes past us, Kimi Raikkonen goes past us, and we were feeling the tyre wear considerably. Again, we try to make a rash move down the inside of Raikkonen, but we make it stick remarkably. And our aim now is to catch Bottas because we want 4th place. But as we cut down to the main straight, as we end of near straight, we end up getting hit by Kimi Raikkonen. We get spun around. Unbelievable scenes. Let's take another look at that because unbelievable. We get spun on the last few corners. Let's take another look at what just happened to us currently right now. As you can see here, coming to the end of the straight, Kimi Raikkonen just prods his car, makes us spin, and now we are down in to 7th, I believe. 7th or 8th? No, we can't be 8th. We're into 7th, I believe. We have to make a breakaway, but it's unbelievable scenes. Kimi Raikkonen spins us. Rosberg wins the race in China as we come through in 7th place, lap 28 of 28. An alright finish, but yeah, we come home in 7th place. Not very good. We could have had 4th or possibly 5th, but as you can see, Daniel Ricciardo is not happy. We are not happy. The engineer's not happy. As you can see, we're not celebrating with Alan, so that means it's not good. And over to you, Crofty.
What a car they've got this year.
You can't fault their commitment today. They really pushed hard and were rewarded with a race win. Fantastic achievement.
After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
And as always, guys, if you have enjoyed the episodes, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new around here. If you did not like the episode, let me know why in the comments down below. And I will see you next time for the Bahrain Grand Prix.